So then what happened next was really what became the next big shift. And there was a shift in every industry. Everyone experienced some kind of change or shift during the pandemic. And what it was for us and for Basketball Society was I knew that, the NBA was shut down. There were no basketball games on. There's no, so whatever, our team was like, at one time we had 15 to 20 writers on our site. Like we had a bunch of people on board just doing stuff. By the time the pandemic came, we were probably down to about 10 people or something, like 8 to 10 people. And I told those people in March, as things were starting to shut down, that we were going to have to get really creative and really focused on what we all wanted to do next with this platform. When there's no basketball being played, we have no sponsorship, corporate backing. We're not getting funded. We are still very much, we talk about from the ground up. We're not up yet. We're closer to the ground than we are to the up. We're still building. So it was imperative that we had to be very creative all this time in order to, build our social media platform. We had over 65,000, close to 65,000 followers on Instagram at that time. Basketball was getting shut down from the NBA all the way down to high school, AAU. There was nothing, right? So I'm like, yo, we already had to be really creative. We already were supposed to be getting innovative and pushing each other and figuring out programming and content, what sets us apart, what can set us up for potential sponsorship, or, whatever our personal, individual, or collective goals were. We already had to be very creative because it's just us. When things were shutting down, I'm like, yo, what do y'all think is about to happen now? We're going to have to get even more creative right now. So we did a couple things, it got up to June, July, I was fortunate again to have, an outdoor court here at the crib where, again, if you follow me, you've seen the dojo outside, how we get down out there. So I was fortunate to still be able to have, small individual sessions, which is that's really where I ended up doing as a trainer, was mainly focusing on one-on-one personal sessions, being a personal skills trainer. So I was still, focusing on my kids that I was, tapped in with, that I was invested in. And when it came to the media, the website, the content and stuff, I started getting I did some interviews, started doing some lives, some Zoom interviews, trying to figure it out. How do we stay relevant, basically? How do we stay relevant and still connect with people and still offer people content? And so we were doing that. We were kind of doing that. I was doing some stuff. Some other guys were doing some stuff. We kind of took it to the YouTube channel. We started focusing on the channel a little bit more, doing some more video content, some more organic video content. But the couple main things that I was called and led to do was, for one, we set up virtual workouts with my buddy Eric Van Tyne, who runs what was called at that time Built to Perform. Now it's called Stretch Plus. And Eric had done one of our other events, which I didn't even mention before. We did something called Summer Series for a couple of summers, where we would do kind of like a skills clinic, but also we would try to we'd get barbecue, we try to barbecue outside, play music, have a good workout, have good food, just good basketball vibes, pretty much. We did it here at the crib one summer. We teamed up with Team Elevation, local AAU program, did it at a park here in the area another summer. We tried to bring special guests out and stuff like that, just tried to make it a cool, fun, engaging basketball environment for people to come, just connect. So the one summer we did it at the park, I had Eric come because he does fascial stretch therapy. He was like, man, I really want to, offer this to some of the kids you work with, some of the players you work with. So I had him come out to our summer series event one summer. He brought his table out at the park, and Eric put me on that table, and and had me breathe a certain way and put me down and had a strap my leg down and whip my leg over and then put my shoulder like this and did, punch me in here and did all kinds of wild stuff. And it was unlike any stretching experience I had ever had. And from that point on, I knew like, yo, we have to stay connected. So mind you, that was summer 2019. That was summer 2019. In March, April 2020, when the pandemic hit and things were shut down, and I knew we had to set up some virtual stuff, I hit up Eric and I said, yo, let's set up if you can, because he was a teacher at the time. So he was doing virtual stuff for school, but I saw him doing virtual stuff. I'm like, yo, can you do some virtual workouts that we can, offer? We'll promote it on our platform. Basketball players have, they can't go to the gym. They can't work out. Everyone's doing stuff from home. And we were doing virtual workouts, for an hour, just doing strength stuff, stretching stuff. And that was one of the virtual programs that I set up during the pandemic. This is all Basketball Society. This is stuff that, as the founder of Basketball Society, somebody who wanted to offer, unique, genuine, and helpful basketball resources to society, which is part of what Basketball Society is supposed to represent. That was something that I knew I wanted to offer. The other thing I started offering was virtual meditation. It was the perfect time, really, to encourage meditation. I was not practicing meditation at this time. I was comfortable enough to reach out to actually the Meditation Center of Chicago, which is who we reached out to when we went to Chicago for the Spread Love Basketball Clinic. We reached out to them and asked them to come do a meditation session with the kids, because part of the theme, one of the things that we always said would be part of the Spread Love Clinic, was a meditation and or yoga session. So I found this meditation center in Chicago, emailed them, asked them to come while we were there that weekend. They brought a whole monk to our basketball session. They had a couple meditation guides and a monk that sat there. He had his whole monk garb stuff on, right? Bald head, all that. Again, that was February 2020. Remember when we went to Chicago? So a couple months later, pandemic shut down. We need virtual programming for Basketball Society. I decided we needed virtual meditations. I reached back out to the meditation center. I saw they were doing some virtual meditation stuff. So I reached out to them and said, yo, we need you guys. Like, I need you guys to set up a, 30 to 45 minute virtual meditation session that we will promote on our platforms. When I say we, it was really just me. I had made up my mind. This was something that I wanted my platform to be involved in, offering basketball resources, unique, credible, engaging, helpful, sustainable basketball resources to society. So as a trainer, as someone who's invested in the development and well-being of young basketball players, let's pour into their minds. Let's help them, especially during this time, during a pandemic when things are shut down. They're stuck at home. They're I don't want to say they're not doing anything. They're playing video games. They're getting up to work out. Some of them, if they're that committed, but it's like we need to be showing that we're offering things other than just, who did this dunk better, Vince Carter or Sean Kemp. So those were the two things we set up: virtual workouts, virtual meditations, Basketball Society. We moved forward. I started Protect Our Queens, which was a virtual way to do interviews with some women's basketball prospects. That started up in the summer of 2020. Protect Our Queens became our women's basketball cornerstone. I had access to some of the top girls basketball players in the state of New Jersey to interview and to connect with. I'm like, I'm not going to create a whole new platform, but I'm going to create a segment that is just for them. So in the summer of 2020, summer of the pandemic, was when me and my buddy Eric came together, created a joint platform, Holistic Hooper. You can follow it on Instagram, holistic.hooper. So we wanted to offer information on fascia focused stretching, mindfulness and meditation and combine our platforms to do that. So I started posting more on Basketball Society about mindfulness, meditation, women's basketball, protect our queens. And we started losing followers.